Hello from London. My name is Anna. This is English Like a Native, and right now, right here, you are about to receive the best English lesson ever. That's right. This is going to be the best English lesson in the world. It's very boastful of me, isn't it? What's happened? Do I have a big head? Have I suddenly grown a huge ego? In fact, this is a lesson all about being boastful. So I thought this was going to be a really interesting subject. So I'm just going to say hello to everybody and then I will explain in full what is going on. So I have lots of you joining me here. I did my 5-minute countdown. I hope you liked that. Thought it would help to get people in. So hello everyone. Hello Egypt. Hello Lombardo. Hello David, Amina, Anne-Marie, Emin, Theos, Tio. Tio, you like my sunglasses? Thank you very much. Oh. It's not actually very sunny, but what I do is I wear my sunglasses when it's not sunny to encourage the sun to come out. Hello to every one of my patrons who are here. Let's see who's here. Let's make this a little bigger if I can. So, can you guys see this? Can you guys see this if I make this smaller? Yes, so I have David, Dennis, Domenico, Camille, Andreas, Haja, hi, Gal, hi. Fabulous. Quite a few of you joining me here today. Wonderful. So obviously my patrons, I will try and respond to you as we go through. But as we're all here now, how many do we have? Oh, we have 167 of you. Fabulous. So let's start our lesson. As you know, I always make notes. So today we're talking about boasting. Boasting. What does boasting mean? Well, boasting, as I've written here, is a verb. To boast, it's a verb. It means to talk with excessive pride and self-satisfaction about one's achievements, possessions, or abilities. And here is an example. So the first example, he spent weeks boasting after winning the race. He spent weeks boasting after winning the race. This means that imagining I am a man and I've won a race, and then afterwards for weeks and weeks and weeks I'm going, yeah, I was so fast, I won that race, no problem. I'm amazing because I won the race. Did you see my medal? You should all look at me like this because I'm amazing because I won the race. So, so this is a man who is boasting for weeks and weeks and weeks about his one achievement. Another example of boasting, in this sentence we have Wilfred, which is a man's name. Wilfred didn't give him a chance to boast. So Wilfred didn't give him a chance to boast, much to everyone's delight. So everyone was very happy that Wilfred didn't give the boasting man a chance to boast. Maybe this man was about to start saying, did anybody see my wonderful race? Oh, yes, I won, don't you know? But Wilfred obviously stepped in just before this man started speaking and went, I'm sorry, we don't have any more time. You must sit down and someone else must take the stage, or something like that. So he stopped the man from boasting, which was much to everyone's delight. Okay, I've got lots more of you coming in here. Fabulous. Wow, we have 176 people watching. I wonder if we can push this up to 200. I think this is more in the one class than I've ever had before, which is fabulous. Great. So let's carry on. Let's keep this as a quick moving lesson. So we have, just to give you an example of how boast works, it's a regular verb. So you have I boast, and I've given you some example sentences here. I boast as often as I can. I don't. Actually, I do a little bit. Boasting in general is a negative thing. Boasting is seen as a bad thing. But sometimes it's used to, sometimes a little bit of boasting is fine. And I tend to boast about my students. If I have a student, a private student who is improving and doing something fabulous, like some of my students are now very successful performers, or they're doing very, very well in their lives, and I'm very proud of them. So sometimes I boast about my students. I talk about their achievements and how I feel a sense of achievement because I helped them to get to their level of success. So I'm like, oh, did you know that he is my student? I used to teach him. He used to be unconfident and he used to have a stutter and I helped him. And so sometimes I am boastful. I know it's not always a good thing, but sometimes I like to boast. But I don't really boast as often as I can, only sometimes. If we're talking about someone else, we'd say, you boast. You boast whenever you get the chance to. You could miss this off the end, you don't need it there, but sometimes it's fine to have it there too. No. Whenever you get the chance to. They boast. See, nothing's changed here. They boast very little considering their achievements. They boast very little considering their achievements. So this is obviously referring to a group of people who have achieved a lot and they should probably boast, but they don't. So I'm saying they boast very little considering their achievements. Isn't it odd? Hello to, I've had more patrons joining me here. Hi, welcome. Nice of you to join. Moving on, we boast. We boast. And here I've given a different example of the use. We boast the best roast dinner in England. We boast the best roast dinner in England. Now, a roast dinner is a very popular dish here in the UK. It's roasted meat, roasted in the oven with usually roast potatoes, lots of vegetables and gravy. And it's one of the most popular dishes. It's a traditional dish here in England, in the UK. And if I say we boast, it means that we can quite confidently say we have the best roast dinner in England. So I might be talking about me and my sister, or me in my restaurant, we boast. Does that make sense? Hello Dave, don't worry, you say you're late to the party, but don't worry, I'm glad you're here now. Like you say, better late than never. Wow, we have 200 people in. Hello everyone, that's amazing. I'm really very happy, that's amazing. Thank you for joining. If you are new here, then please do press that subscribe button, the bell notification button next to subscribe so you don't miss. You'll know how much I like a thumb. So with 200 watching, we should every time I see her. She both. So I'm talking about my friend. Hi, Anna. So have you gorgeous boyfriend? He's just so strong, so handsome. And so friend, she boasts time I see her. Boasts that he can lift the heaviest weight. So he's saying, hey, I can lift a really, really heavy weight. So I'm really strong. So he boasts that he can lift the heaviest weight. Some of you are saying that I'm having a few problems with the stream. If I am, just bear with me, guys. As you know, I tether off my phone and I'm supposed to have full signal here. I'm on 4G, so just bear with me. And if it is a little bit pixelated, then it will come back into full view very soon. All right? So just bear with me. All right, guys. One day I will have really good internet, but right now it's an impossibility. I've tried everything. I can't boast good internet is what I'm saying. So then we finally have it boasts. So it might be that a magazine boasts, or a hotel boasts, or a country boasts. So here I put, it boasts a beautiful view of the ocean. So perhaps I'm talking about a coastal hotel, a hotel that sits on the coast. It boasts a beautiful view of the ocean. It boasts a beautiful view of the ocean. Alrighty, so those are the different ways to conjugate the verb, depending on who we're talking about. What are my patrons saying here? So I've got maybe one day you can teach us to make, that should be make a roast dinner. Maybe one day you can teach us to make a roast dinner. I would love to, actually, and that's a very good idea. So I think, David, you're absolutely right. I will do one day. Eric, what's the difference between boast about and brag about? I hear the Australian people say, how are you? Nothing to brag about. Okay, well, boast and brag are pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. And I'm actually going to go on to the word brag in just a moment. So just bear with me and I will get onto it. What are you saying here? Something about boost. Yeah, so boost and boast are different. Spelt differently, boost is double O and boast is B-O-A-S-T. You see how it's spelt? B-O-A-S-T. If you spell it B-O-O-S-T, like this, that means to push something up, something that's completely different. Oops. Okie dokie. Just for your information, guys, these notes that I've written here are available to anyone who is kind enough to sponsor this channel. As I was saying to my followers on Facebook yesterday in the live stream, the reason I do these lessons is to provide as much free education for as many people as possible, because there are many people out there in the world who need English as a means to get work, or because they need to move to a different country, maybe an English-speaking country, and they need English, but they cannot afford the English education, private teachers, or to go to a school or to take on a course. So I try to provide as much free and helpful education as I can, but of course taking all my time to do this means I don't have much time to do other work which pays, and also things like internet and things to stream cost a lot of money. So that's where my patrons come in, and people who are kind enough to help me to help everybody else. So if you feel that you are able enough to support this channel and what I'm trying to do for everybody, then you can do either by becoming a patron, for which you will then be rewarded, and the link to the Patreon page is in the description of this video, so you can find out all about the rewards there, or you can drop a super chat. A super chat is a one-off donation to the channel where your comment will be highlighted so everyone will see it, and also you will be sent the notes from this lesson. I've put my email address in the description of this video, so if you do drop a super chat, thank you very much. Drop me an email and I will send you the notes with my gratitude. If you're not sending a super chat though, please, please, please don't drop me an email unless it's something to do with work. I get lots of emails every day and it breaks my inbox. It means I can't find the important emails, and I just get lots of emails, people saying, hi, hello, I'm learning English. And it's lovely to hear from you, but it does prevent me from working. So only super chat people, please send me emails. All right, guys, I know you'll understand. Thank you. Okay, so let us carry on with the lesson. Thank you, Marco. That's very kind of you. You're all being very kind today, actually. Thank you for your nice comments. So, let's move on. There's different ways we can use boast. Obviously, there's to boast. I boast, you boast, as we've just learned. But you can also say boastful. So you can use it as an adjective. Now, here is a little task for you. I want you to try to use boastful in a sentence right now. So, as many of you as possible, if you are typing, if you're able to type, I want you to write a sentence which uses boastful as an adjective. So give me a sentence. Patrons, I'm looking at you right now, and also anyone really, whoever can get to me first with a sentence using the word boastful, the adjective boastful. And I'll correct you right here, right now. Okay, and while I'm waiting for you to respond to that task, I'm going to have a very quick look to see how many thumbs we have. How many thumbs do we have going here? 89, only 89 thumbs? Oh, 89 thumbs. Well, that makes me feel like this. That makes me feel like poo. I love this. I got this as a free gift when I went to YouTube a few days ago. And they gave this as a free gift. I love it. A little poo. But I don't like to use it. So let's get those thumbs up. Let's get those thumbs up. Oh, my stream is being laggy again. Getting a lagging stream. Oh, definitely a thumbs down for my internet connection. I'm sorry, I can't do much about that. But a thumbs up for just being lovely. All lovely here. Everyone's so nice. Okay, lots of sentences coming through. Let us respond to those. So we have, I do my best to sound boastful, says Bob. I do my best to sound boastful. Perfect use. Good. My friend is boastful, so I punched. Oh dear. No need for violence. And also, if you were going to use that sentence, you'd have to say, I punched him, or her, or them. Okay? So you can't just say, I punched. It has to be directed at something. I punched. She is a boastful girl. Yes, that's fine. That's fine. I'm sorry, that's good. Not just fine, but good. I like boast about my girlfriend. So, Louis, you'd say, I like to boast about my girlfriend. I like to boast. To boast. My patrons are saying, hello, Anna. I'm glad you remember my awesome name, Camille. It means perfect, really. It is a good example of our boasting subject today. Yes, it is. You're absolutely right. I hope our lesson is going to be legendary. If you're using legend to describe in this sense, you're saying the lesson, so you're describing the noun lesson. So this becomes a describing word, legendary. Wait for it. Oh, there you go. Why don't I read ahead? Yes, you're absolutely right. Legendary. Good. I want to try to be modest. Yes, because boasting is not endearing to me with my... Does not. Will not. Boasting will not endear me to with my friends. Yeah, it feels a little bit strange, David, that sentence. I'm not sure why. Because boasting will not endear me with my friends. Endear me to, I think, would be the best word to use there. Endear me to. But we wouldn't use it in that way. That just feels a little odd. I would say because, and that's a B-E, not B-A, because boasting, because my friends don't find boasting endearing. Type this out for me, because my friends don't find boasting endearing. That sounds more natural. That sounds more natural. Haja, the super chat is not available everywhere like in Malaysia. I know, it's such a shame. I know some people have actually messaged me saying they want to sponsor the channel, but they're not able to. And in that case, if you're not able to sponsor the channel, that's absolutely fine. I don't expect you to. I don't expect anyone to. I know that some of you can't, but some of you would like to. And all I ask in that case is that you just show me a thumb. You just give me one thumb up, that you share this with anyone you think would find it helpful, and that you subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask for, and that obviously you take part in the lessons. Let's carry on. Okay, so lots of you using boastful in the right way. Good. So we can also say boastfully as an adverb. Can any of you write a sentence using the word boastfully? And while I'm waiting for you to do that, I'm going to use one of your examples here. Can you use it in a sentence? Because you're always in my lesson, but I'll use it there as an example. Mark, if it's a statement, that's fine. And also just to know, we can, just respond to my question. Is this a question or is this a statement? Let me know. and I'll respond to that. Eric, this boastful guy boastfully boasted about his fake love affairs. Eric, that's incredible. Well done. This boastful guy, so you're describing the guy as boastful. He boastfully boasted, yes, okay, about his fake love affairs. I love that. I love that. But to help it along, I'm going to actually use that, Eric, as the example on the notes here. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the second. Going to change the second word here. Let me come back to you guys in a second. Alrighty. So this boastful guy boastfully talked. I'm going to change it. Boastfully talked about his. Boastfully talked, I'm going to just extend this, at great length. At great length. We use this a lot. It means for a long time. At great length means for a long time. He talked at great length. We use that phrase quite a lot. Talked at great length. That means to talk for a long time. So try to remember that one. And this boastful guy boastfully talked at great length about his fake love affairs. Amazing. I love that, Eric. Well done. Let's go back to you guys here. Haja, it was a question. Okay, so that's a really important note, guys. I get messages regularly. I get messages on Facebook, on Instagram, here on YouTube, and in a lot of cases, I think it's a question, but I'm not sure because there's no question mark. Now, the difference can be huge. If you're asking a question, then I'm open to helping you. If you don't have a question mark, sometimes your question can come across as a very direct and what's the word? It can sound very assuming. It can sound very assuming, and sometimes it comes across as rude that you're making a statement about something that I'm quite sure that you're incorrect about. But in fact, you're asking a question, so I don't think I'm making sense. Just remember, if it's a question, always put a question mark so that you don't have any miscommunication. Okay? So let's go back then. Haja, you said, where was it? So if it's a question, Haja, you should put can we first. So change it around. Can we? The statement, we can. So if it's a question, you start with can. Can we boast about? So boast about others or just about ourselves. That's the correct sentence, okay? Oh, sorry, with a question mark. With a question mark at the end. It was me talking about question marks and I forgot to do it myself. How silly. Okay, what else have we got? Georgie, boastfully saying I can swim across the Atlantic Ocean. Boastfully saying, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Boastfully saying I can swim across the... I think it would be better to say, boastfully, you could say boastfully speaking. Boastfully speaking, yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's not something I hear very often. It's probably better to say speaking rather than saying. I've never heard this said by a native. So boastfully speaking would sound more natural to me. Boastfully speaking, I can swim across the Atlantic Ocean. Fabulous. Suavek, stop being, B-E-I-N-G, sorry. Stop being boastful about what you can do. Start deploying these things in your life. Okay, so Suavek, that should be stop boastfully. Stop being boastful about what you... What am I doing? Anna, you need more coffee. Stop being boastful about what you can do and start doing it. And that's what you mean, isn't it? And that would be the best way to say it. Antonio, The lesson is about being boastful. Come onto YouTube. What are you bragging about? I'm bragging about how amazing all my students are and how I've got 224 people here. But I shouldn't brag because I only have 142 thumbs. So it's nothing to brag about. All right, let's carry on here. I'm going to stop looking at the thumbs now. If anyone sees my thumbs get up to 200, then shoot me a note and I'll have a celebration. I'll do a little dance or something. Okay, so I won't dance. I mustn't dance. It'll just be embarrassing for everybody. So we also can use boast as a noun, boastfulness, boastfulness. So I want you to try and use this one last one as a noun in a sentence. Can you do it? Can you do it? And while you are, I'm going to put in a sentence for you and see what you guys come up with. Anne-Marie, oh no, you're responding to someone else. Lots of you on YouTube doing some fantastic example sentences here. That's great. Anne-Marie says, do you respond to messages on Instagram? Yes, I try to. I sometimes do miss messages, and that's because Instagram don't make it easy to find comments. So when I go on, I'll have maybe sometimes 30 notifications every time I go on. And as I look through, it's like, subscribe, comment, like. And it's when you're in a hurry, sometimes as you're scrolling down, it's very easy to miss comments. So I know that if somebody commented on a previous post, maybe a few days old, then I do end up missing some. So I try to respond on Instagram, but sometimes I miss them. I hope someday Instagram will make it easier to see just comments, but we'll see. They're always making things better, so hopefully. So Nazir has responded to the task. He said, she always talks boastfulness. So because you're describing talks, a noun doesn't work. You'd need an adverb to describe the verb. She always talks boastfully would be the correct sentence there. But a good try. Thank you for giving it a go. Giving it a go. Okay, patrons, no one's responding to this task. Has everyone found this a bit difficult? Jana has said, I think a little bit of boastfulness is good. A little bit. Good, Jana. Okay, so I'm going to use yours. Lombardo, her mouth is full of boastfulness. Sure, I mean, that's quite poetic, artistic. But yes, that works. Okay, so I'm going to use Jana's example. I think, and I'm just going to add the A in here to make it correct. I think a little bit of boastfulness is good. Yes, great. And I actually agree with you on that one. I think we should be proud of our achievements and we shouldn't be ashamed of telling people about our achievements, talking about our achievements, but we don't want to do too much because that can just be boring for other people, right? We should be humble and modest. Okay. Is anybody keeping an eye on those thumbs? Am I going to have to dance at any point soon? I'm joking, I won't dance, but I will be very happy if I hit 200 thumbs. All right, time to move forward. So we have common synonyms. I always find this a weird word to say, synonyms. Common synonyms for the word boast. Well, we have already mentioned the word brag. So brag is just a verb. It means pretty much the same thing. And so I might say to you, stop bragging about your amazing English teacher. No, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. I'm not going to put that because that would be very boastful of me, wouldn't it? I would probably say, stop bragging about how many thumbs, how many likes you have because I don't have very many. Sad face. Okay? I think brag is pretty straightforward, so I might tell you to stop bragging. He was bragging all day yesterday. It's so boring. stop bragging. We use it exactly the same way as boast. Okay, Marco, what do you mean if you think boastfulness is a quality? Oh, is this your example sentence? If you think boastfulness is a quality, you're a little posh. You've used that correctly. You need to put an apostrophe in between the Y-O-U and R-E. So make sure you put an apostrophe in there. Lovely. Okay, sorry, I'm getting drawn into the comments. I'm just going like square eye, going, oh, what are people saying? Okay, let's carry on. So, we can also say the word crow instead of boast. So to crow, obviously this is like the bird, it's like a black bird, a crow, and crows make an awful noise. In fact, they crow, and actually a lot of birds that make noises crow. They crow like that. And when someone is talking about themselves, you could say that they're crowing. I'm amazing. I'm wonderful. This is the best lesson ever. So we talk about someone crowing in a similar way that an animal, a bird, would crow and make that awful noise. And you're just like, oh, please stop talking. Stop crowing. It's so boring. My ears hurt. All right. Anne-Marie, what does posh mean? Posh is a description for somebody who, someone who's in the upper classes or who's well educated, or I don't know exactly how to describe it to you, but for example, the Queen would be described as posh. She has lots of money, she's the monarchy, she's the monarch, she lives in a palace. She's been well educated. She, probably drinks her tea with her little finger up like this and goes, oh, how do you do? She speaks very well. It's lovely to have you to tea. And she has her corgis and she's very, very posh. So similarly, if anybody speaks like this, then somebody might assume them to be posh. So it's kind of, do you know, my family, when I changed my accent, when I changed my way of speaking, because my natural way of speaking is northern, when I changed, I went home and my family would say to me, oh, you're really posh now. What you talking like that for? You're proper posh. I was like, I'm not posh. I just changed my accent. And they're like, no, that's well posh, that is. So what can I do? What can I do? Okay. So, a couple of comments. So I've had a couple of comments recently, people saying that what I'm doing is offensive. And so I'd just like to apologise to those of you who are offended by things like seeing my shoulders or seeing me drinking. I know that a lot of you are fasting at the moment, and I'm assuming that most people watching here are fasting for Ramadan, and if you are, then good luck, and I wish you all the best with it. But just to remember that I'm not fasting, and when I'm speaking for sometimes an hour and a half without having a drink, I find that very difficult, and I do have a very sore throat at the moment. So I apologise if you find that difficult. Perhaps maybe you can stop watching now and just watch at a time when you can eat and drink so that you don't find it difficult to watch. And of course, I always do try to dress relatively modestly, but in my country it's different. We don't find it offensive to bare our shoulders. It's very hot. So I don't mean any offence. But please do understand that we do just come from very different places and have different beliefs. So if I offend you, I apologise, and I hope that it won't put you off from rejoining my lessons in future. Okay, so now we've got that out of the way, I will carry on. Okay, so common synonyms, we've covered crowing. We might say his crowing made me made me feel angry. And then we have the verb show off. Show off. So you could say that, you could use show off as a verb. So I could say that someone is showing off. He is showing off. And this might be, like I have some new earrings, for example. So I might come to you and say, look at my earrings. Do you like my earrings? I bought these earrings. They were like £300. They weren't. They were probably like £2. These earrings were like £300. They're like designer earrings. My really handsome boyfriend bought them for me. Oh yes, because my boyfriend is rich, and he said these earrings make my eyes look amazing. Okay, so I'm showing off my earrings, and I might be showing off without even saying anything. I might just be like, sorry, what did you say? Oh, you noticed my earrings. Oh, wow. Yeah, I know. I won't tell you. I won't bore you with the story about my earrings, but they're amazing, aren't they? So you can be showing off just by showing them. Like if I'm driving around in my car, if I had an amazing car with a roof that I could take down and show everyone my car, then I'm driving around with the music really loud. I don't have to say anything, but I'm showing off. I'm like, hi, this is my car. I'll be like, yeah, hi, yeah, my new car, huh? Yeah. And so that is showing off. But you can also then be described as a show-off. All right. So if I'm doing that with my earrings and I'm driving around like this, someone could say, oh, look at her. She's a right show-off. I mean, that's quite northern, actually. Ignore that. I wouldn't say right show-off, but I could say she's a real show-off or she's a show-off. Stop being a show-off is what you might say. So have you ever showed something off? Have you ever been a show-off? I'm a show-off. I'm an actress. So by nature, by my very nature, I am a show-off. I show off for my job. That's what I do. I stand on the stage and I sing, or I dance, or I say some lines and I act, and I am naturally, my profession is a show-off. Okay? So have you ever showed off about anything? So Antonio says, show off flashy stuff. Yes, if you have flashy stuff, so really cool stuff, then you might show it off. Sometimes I post photos to show off my muscle, says Camille. Great. So if you've got really muscly arms, you're just like, one thing that some men do at the gym is I go, oh, you want to know where the bathroom is? Oh, the bathroom is over there. And they'll do, oh, I can't do it. Can't do it, but they do that thing where they tense their muscles by pointing that way. Like, yeah, the bathroom's over there, and they show their muscle off. So Camille, you could say, sometimes I post photos for showing off my muscles, or I post photos to show off my muscles. So you can say either way. Leo says, I show off my mechanic keyboard. What is a mechanic keyboard? I don't know. I don't know what this thing is. Anna, I'd like to know if you can let this lesson having a description below. Alex, I'm not quite sure what your comment means. I'm sorry, darling. I don't quite understand it. If I have missed your comment, by the way, I'm not ignoring you. It's just that there are lots of messages here and on Skype, and I'm trying to follow a lesson plan. So please don't get upset. It's nothing personal. I just can't possibly answer everyone because I can't see everything in time. And I do have to kind of read them before I read them out, because in case someone says something bad, because I do have haters. Some people who come here and always give a thumb down and say bad things to me and send me death threats or horrible things. So I have to check them before I read them out. So yes, if I spent all time reading, then everyone would get bored. And let's carry on so that no one does get bored. Have we got 200 thumbs yet, by the way, anyone? Oh, nearly. Okay, so another word that you can use is the word flaunt. Flaunt. And this is a verb, to flaunt something. It's the same as showing something off. Sometimes you might say she's flaunting around. She flaunts herself in front of men That's a sentence I've heard before. She flaunts herself in front of men, and that's a woman who is showing herself off. Or you can say he flaunts himself. He flaunts himself in front of women. So it might be a man who's got lots of muscles, and he's at the gym, and he takes off his t-shirt at the gym, so he's bare-chested, and he's flexing his muscles when the women are there. He's flaunting his body in front of the women. Or if you had a new car, the fancy car with the top down, then you're flaunting your car. Or if you're in a bar and you said, hey guys, the drinks are on me, and you start paying for everyone's drinks, you're flaunting your money. You're showing off your money. Okay, so let's carry on. So there's a few new words that you may not have used before. Hopefully you've learned something new. Another word that you may not have heard. Interested to know if you have heard this word before. It's an informal word. It's a noun. And it's one-upmanship. And it's the text or feeling superiority over another person. The which makes me uneasy. So so it seems like everyone makes me feel if anyone has a usually you'll find here I don't understand why I have so many issues when I've got 4G and a good few bars going on here. Maybe I have to phone EE again. Hopefully you can still hear me and still see me. I'm going to carry on anyway. Yeah, sorry guys, I really, it's so frustrating. In a few months' time, I'm going to try to get fibre optic internet. That's if I move house, and if I do, then hopefully it will make a massive difference. It'll make a massive difference to the streams. Okay, so I want to talk to you now about comparatives. Comparatives. So one-upmanship is always generally trying to outdo the other person. So a comparative. Sometimes you will hear a number of people trying to outboast one another. You may hear the phrase to outdo one another or to outdo him. To outdo someone is to just be better than them. Always trying to compete and be better than them. So here I've said you may hear a number of people trying to outboast one another. So one person's boasting, you might hear someone joining in and trying to boast even bigger than the other person. So they do this by responding to a boast with a comparative. For example, person A says, my car is really fast. I don't know why I'm doing an American accent. Let me do a Scouse accent. So my car is that's awful. Right, Scouse. So my car is really fast. It can reach 150 miles per hour. Right, that's the Scouse accent, or kind of. So my car is really fast. It can reach 150 miles per hour, so there. Right, and then B, who comes from, who just comes from the north generally, who's from Lancashire, says, oh yeah, well mine did 190 miles per hour this morning. All right. So A says, my car is really fast. It can reach 150 miles per hour. And B says, oh yeah, well mine did 190 miles per hour this morning. So there. You see, so A boasted, but then B outdid him and said, well that's nothing. I'm better than you. So he used a comparative. Well, not quite. He didn't actually use any comparative words, but he compared what he has to the other person. So here I've written responders are also bragging. They may start their responses with some of the following phrases. So if you've said something to brag, Give me a brag. Someone give me a brag. Tell me so. We have 200 thumbs. We just have to stop it there. You guys are awesome. We have 200 thumbs. I love you guys. You are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so I have something to brag about. I have 200 thumbs. I promised a dance. Here we go. Oh, look at my fancy outfit. Do you like it? It's a bit different. All right, that's enough silliness. So, I'm going to brag. I had 200 thumbs during my lesson today. And then someone else will then come in and say, oh yeah, question mark. Well, I get 500 thumbs on all of my lessons. So they've outdone my brag by making their brag even bigger. I've got, oh yeah, well, mine is even better than yours. All right, so you can also then say, so what? So I go, woohoo, I got 200 thumbs in my live lesson. And then that person might respond with, so what? Which is very belittling. And then they might go on to say, so what? Let's change the brag. Give me a brag. Someone give me a brag. Anyone? Da 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 da. Brag. I'm a great dancer, so someone can say, hey, I'm an amazing. I at the Royal Ballet School. You might respond with so. I danced with Michael Jackson. Have you danced with? No. Going to give me a brag. If you say I you whatever I'm going to use so fitter used to mean more healthy with bigger muscles, but it can also mean attractive. I am fit. Yeah. I see 3 in 1 hour. Okay, so give me another boast. Da, 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 da. Give me another boast. Internet. No, it's not cut off, has it? I know, I don't know why the internet is so bad. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? Yeah, you're still working. Okay, so I'm sorry about the internet. I don't know why, it's not changing on my phone. I'm tethering off my phone for sure. I can't do anything about it now. I pay a lot of money for this internet and it's just being terrible. Ugh. Okay, so I'm not going to carry on. I'll try and get to the end of this lesson because obviously the internet is being very frustrating. But other responses you can give are, you think that's good? You think that's good, and then you can give an example. You can go, oh, who cares? I did something even better. Or you could say, I don't think so. Yeah, and that's dismissive. So comparative words that we could use are better. I'm better than you. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm faster than you. I'm younger than you. I'm prettier than you. I'm more beautiful. What? Wait a minute. Hang on just a minute. Why are these saying better, bigger, stronger, faster, younger, prettier? And then here we have more beautiful. Why don't we have beautifuler? Has anybody ever wondered this? Why we use more beautiful instead of beautifuler? Why we say prettier instead of more pretty? Anybody? Anybody ever found this frustrating and confusing? Well, let's see if we can deal with this problem right now. Question mark, question mark, question mark. So we have, when we use more, when do we use more plus the adjective, and when do we use the adjective plus er? Question mark. That's the question. Generally, with short adjectives, so if it's just one syllable like strong, pretty, that's two. Okay, it's still short though. What else do we have? Fit. When we have short adjectives, and adjectives ending with y, like pretty, or then we add er. So if it's a short adjective or it ends with y, then we add er. Long adjectives, longer adjectives, so two syllables or more, usually need to use the word more. So, for example, pretty, oh, I spelt it wrong there. Pretty ends with a y, so it has two syllables, but it ends with a y. Therefore, it becomes prettier. Fit is short, therefore it becomes fitter. Oh, Anna, you're spelling, come on. If something is low, that's a short. I need to go to typing lessons. It would then become lower. Short is a short adjective, so that would become shorter. But then we have beautiful. That's a long beautiful. That's three syllables. It's three, so I'll just write long. It's a long word, and therefore it becomes more beautiful. What other long adjectives can we have? Oh no, that's a short one. Anyone can think of a long adjective that we would use more with? Okay, all right, I think I've got one. So we have patient. Where am I typing? Patient. You'd use more patient. Oh, that's not a very good example, actually. Ignore that one. It's not a good example. Let me something more obvious. Yes, Carlos, perfect. That's a perfect example. Thank you. Expensive. Three syllables. Therefore, because it's long, we would say more expensive, not expensiver. More expensive. Antonio says cantankerous. If somebody is cantankerous, they're like moody and bitter and horrible. So then we would say cantankerous, because it is a very long word. We'd say more cantankerous. Yes, Austin, you're absolutely right. You said handsome. You wouldn't say handsomer, you'd say more handsome. Okay. Oh, I've put that in the wrong slot. No, come here. There we go. Great. Okay, so we've got the idea. There are, of course, as always with English, a few exceptions to the rule, and these tend to be around, these kind of words. They're irregular, So we're going to have the word good. We wouldn't say more good or gooder. We'd just say better. So I would say, are you good? You'd say, yes, I'm better. Hang on, let me think of a good example. So I would say, here's a good example. I would say, I am a good runner. And you might respond with, I am a better runner. If someone uses bad to make it a comparative, then we'd say worse, not more bad or worse, badder, we'd say worse. So I could say, you had a, no, we were in a bad accident. You would say, my accident was worse than yours. I would say, your house is far away. You would say, your house, horse house, is farther than mine. You could say, I have little time. I have little free time. So you could say, I have less free time. Okay, and more, many and more, you could say, I have many friends. You would say, I have more friends. Okay? Oh, and we've already talked about this. It's just a repeat on the notes. Great! And that, my darlings, brings us to the end of that lesson. So I'm just going to go very quickly over to the Skype group. It says, Eric says, can we say much more better? No, absolutely not. We can only say much better. So it's either better or it's much better, but you can't say much more better. You can't say much more better. You can't use those three together. It just doesn't work. So don't do that. Okay, another one. Camille has just said here, I've got much more friends. That's also incorrect. You must say, I've got many more friends. Okay? Yeah, many more friends. All right. So, Anna, help us here. Handsomer, yes or no? No. You don't ever say handsomer. It's more handsome. More handsome. Oh, something going on in the back. Maybe someone's in my garden. Hopefully it's the neighbours or the wind or something. Okay. Oh, I forgot, Anne-Marie, I've said I forgot something. Oh yes, I forgot the R in your house. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for correcting me there, little typo. Thank you very much. Oh, I knew this question would come up. Sky has said, what is the difference between father and further? This is the one I always forget. One is, let's look it up now. It always confuses me which is which. Let's have a look. Father versus further. So one means when you go beyond. So farther is physical distance and further is metaphorical. Let's see if we can get a better example of this. So they're basically interchangeable, but they do have slightly different technical meanings. Let's see if we can find one that makes it really simple and easy to explain. Okay, so father is physical distance. So, in fact, let me cover this in another lesson. Let me look into this and cover it in another lesson because it completely confuses me too. Most natives just use them interchangeably. They are interchangeable, and so most natives just use them that way. They use father or further, whichever feels more natural. But I know there is a slight technical difference, and I will look it up again and come back to you in the next lesson and tell you the difference between father and further. Father being physical distance. So my house is farther than yours, but I will come back and tell you in a clearer way, a really clear explanation tomorrow. Okay, so that's the end of that lesson. I hope you found it helpful. I'm sorry about the internet issues. Thank you so much for joining me. I can't believe that we've kept over 200 people in the stream, so thank you so much. If you're not already a subscriber, then please do press subscribe and the bell notification button. Now, last week I did pronunciation practice every single day, but some days that meant I was going live twice a day. And I'm not sure whether that meant that some people were missing the lesson. So this week I'm just going to go live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So tomorrow will be a pronunciation lesson, a short one. And then Wednesday will be a long form lesson again. I'm going to do a very interesting subject that lots of you have been asking me to do for ages. So please do join me on Wednesday. That will be around the same sort of time. And then I'm doing a lesson on pronunciation on Thursday and then a grammar lesson on Friday. If you're wanting to know exactly what times I'm going live, then please follow me on Facebook and Instagram, where I've put out a full schedule for the week recently, so go and check that out. Don't forget to share this. Let's get as many people enjoying these lessons as possible, so do share this with your social media friends, and yeah, make sure you've given a thumb before you leave. Thank you very much. A big thank you to my patrons. You guys are awesome as always. Thank you for joining me. Lots of love from London. Have a lovely evening. Take care. And goodbye. Oh, and sorry, before I go, you've got one more day to enter the competition to star with me in a YouTube video. So if you want to star with me in a YouTube video, all you have to do is teach me your language. So it's nothing too scary. It'll be on Skype. You just have to teach me maybe 4 or 5 sentences in your language, and I'll record it and then put it out on YouTube. If you want to enter, then you've only got one more day to enter, because tomorrow I'll be closing the competition and then picking 5 winners. So you have to go to Instagram and look at the recent post of me with a coat on saying, "Speak my language." And it says #SpeakEnglishAnna. So go and do that if you want to enter. That's on Instagram. All the links for everything like Instagram, Facebook are in the description of this video. All right, and good luck if you have entered. Fabulous. Okay, I will speak to you soon. See you tomorrow. Mwah.